verse number 19. All this, said David, the Lord made me understand in writing by his hand upon me. David just turned around and said something. It wasn't me really writing that stuff, it was God. He admits it. It's the Lord's. Okay? It's the Lord's. Even all the works of this pattern. Now watch. And David said to Solomon his son, be strong and of good courage, and do it. And fear not, nor be dismayed, for the Lord God, even my God, will be with thee. He will not fail thee, nor forsake thee, until thou hast finished all the work for the service of the house of the Lord. That's a pretty good promise right there from David. The Lord's going to be with you through the whole thing. Do you remember where we were? It said something. It said, thou hast done what? Thou hast been a man of war, and thou hast shed blood. You've got to remember that. It's very important to this lesson. Okay? Now, David is a picture of who? He's a picture of Jesus Christ. Okay? The greater David is Jesus Christ. The lesser David is David. Solomon is a picture of what? He's a picture of the church. You're going to need it. You got that in your head? You've got to keep that. All right. So, going down, it says, the length thereof was 60 cubits, which is 3 times 20 is 60. 60 cubits. Okay, 60 cubits, that half is 30, that's 90. 90 feet. Okay, so the length is 90 feet. And the breadth thereof is 20 cubits. 20 cubits, a foot and a half a cubit. That's 30 feet, right? 30 feet. And the height was 30 cubits, so that's about 45 feet. It's 45 feet. Okay? So he's giving you some proportions. Now, I can just tell you this, all those add up, they're part of Christ. Just so you know. All those numbers start to be part of Christ. I ain't got time. This would take me about a year to do, or not a year, but it would take me some time every Sunday to put this together. I think that should be for a study when we go into the temple. And we do it maybe one time on a Wednesday night or something like that. So, it says, now watch verse 3, it says, and the porch before the temple of the house. 20 cubits was the length thereof, according to the breadth of the house, and 10 cubits was the breadth thereof before the house. It's before the temple of the house. What do we got? We got like an overhang. Okay? Why would they have an overhang there? Well, think about it. What if it's raining? You won't want the guy to go in there all wet, would you? No. So they have an overhang there. Why? So it can dry off. You don't think God's smart? He knows it rains? Well, he could stop the rain, but he does it then. He lets it rain. These guys got to dry off before they get in. He's not going to mess the place up. Stand under the thing and dry off. He gives them an opportunity to do these things. We have a good, merciful God who thinks of these things. Amen. So anyway, and for the house, verse 4, and for the house he made windows of narrow lights. Now this changes things. Narrow lights. It changes things there. Why? Well, in that point right there where he's talking about, in that house, there in the tabernacle, there was a candle, remember? That was the only light. Now he's got thin, narrow cuts and windows to bring light in, because that candle's not going to be enough if you look at the dimensions. So God is putting more light in, and guess what he puts in? Natural light. Yeah. He doesn't want the light from anywhere else. He's not going to be happy with Solomon putting tiki lamps up. Okay? He wants his light to be on it. Now you'll notice something. It's narrow light. It's narrow windows. Why would it be narrow? Well, in Matthew chapter 7, he says something like, narrow is the way. Narrow is the way. Look, Deanna, Miss Deanna, look. You're narrow-minded, right? You think? You narrow-minded? I am too. It's about that thick. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. God says narrow is the way. You say, when people say to me, you're narrow-minded, I say, yes, thank you very much. I am. It goes and it fits right all in there. And that's exactly where it fits. It's a compliment. It's a compliment to be narrow-minded. They don't understand what they're saying. Why? Because they're broad-minded. What does that mean? Well, the more room for the bats to fly around in that brain. Amen, amen, amen. I only got to concentrate on this. They got to think in 6 different ways. Guess what? That's why they're all messed up. That's why the world is unstable. That's why people are unstable. Why? They can't keep a track because they have no standard. Their standard becomes their own self. That's why they're all messed up out there. They're their own judge. They're their own way. They know what they're doing. How many times I heard that before? Verse number 5. It says, and for the house he made, and against the wall of the house he built chambers round about. Against the walls of the house round about, both of the temple, and of, now look at this word, oracle. And he made chambers round about. So we're going to have to look at what does he mean by oracle. Now we know that it said that the oracle was, they said that oracles of God. They were held by the Jews, you know. They had the oracles of God. Well, it's mentioned 8 times in here, but it's defined in verse number 16. So, the oracle, which the oracles of God were kept by the Levites, right? Yeah. That's the word of God. But look what it says here in verse number 16. At the very end, it says, even for the oracle, even for the most what? There's your oracle. The most holy place, that in there, that is the oracle. Why? Well, the Word of God. God. That's his most holy. He's the oracle. He's the Word of God. Okay? So, we're looking at something like the Word. Now, that is very important now. Why? What did I tell you to remember?
David was the picture of Jesus, the greater David is, in Solomon's church.
Okay, and what else?
And the oracle of the holy place.
What else was 1 Chronicles chapter 28? David couldn't build a temple because he was a man of war and has shed blood. Okay? So he can't make it. Well, I want you to understand, David is a picture of Jesus Christ. Solomon is a picture of the church. We are trying to listen to me. This is so easy now. Jesus Christ dies on the cross, and what does he do? He sheds his blood on the cross. He shed blood. Jesus Christ is called a man of war. And David is a picture of Christ. You say, what does that mean? Did you ever pick it up? Jesus Christ didn't write the Bible. Why? It's the oracle. He shed blood. And he's a man of war, so he used us. He could have came down here and wrote it, handed it to us. He used us. We're Solomon. We're the church. He told those guys, he told me, everybody, he said, these are great things. He said, you'll do better works than these. Once the Holy Ghost comes. Once the Comforter comes. You're going to do greater works. What's that? God is going to write the Word of God.
Amen.
The oracle. You're going to finish it. That's big. Did you see it? Come on. Huh? Amen. That is something big.
It is big.
When you think about it, you go, I never saw that before. That's unbelievable. David, he's a picture. You read through 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel, you start to pick up on David. Then you realize, hey, wait a second, he's a picture of Jesus Christ. And you start to think he's a guy after God's own heart, and you get a better picture of David. And you start to realize the things he's doing, you're going, hey, wait a second. David wasn't thinking the way they told me for years. David's thinking this way. Then the book falls right into place. Bam, bam, bam. Why? Because you saw Christ in David. Or you saw David in Christ.
That's good stuff, though.
Look at verse number 6 now. Knowing this, now look at verse number 6. The nethermost chamber was about 5 cubits broad. There's some grace there. Now watch. And the middle was 6 cubits broad, and the third was 7 cubits broad. For without the wall of the house he made narrow rests round about, that the beams should not be fastened in the walls of the house. Okay? You got to understand something. This is not for the people at large. We're inside now. This isn't so that the people can all get in there and let's go inside and have a good time. It's not for them, that part. Okay? It's not for the general public. This is for those three. It's for a very certain group. What's that group? Well, you got the group that's called the Levites, and in there's different ones. There's two have to work on the outside of the tabernacle, and then the Kohathites, they are the ones that can work inside. Okay? So there's a different perspective, and out of them there's 2 priests that come out of them, because Aaron has sons. And Aaron had 2 sons, and one's name was Ithamar, and the other's name was Eleazar, and one is to be lesser than the other. Ithamar was lesser than Eleazar, and just so you know, Eli was out of Ithamar, and Elkanah, or Samuel, was out of Eleazar, the greater one. It goes back and forth, you see. Now, there was 3 chambers, it said. There's 3 chambers in there. Okay, now let's go down a little further so we can work on these. And it says, and the house, when it was in building, was built of stone.
Where are you?
Verse 7. And the house, comma, when it was in building. So we're looking at the process now. When it was in building, when they were building it, the house, okay, was built of stone, made ready before it was brought there. So they had to make ready the stones on the outside. They couldn't do it by eye inside the place. They had to make it on the outside, and then they had to bring it in. And the reason is, it says, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building. Go to Proverbs 24. Man, that shed blood thing really got me. Did it get you?
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to get all around. I'm still like, wow, how do I put that in my notes?
That's something the Lord has to teach you. You keep it. Every time you get to it from now on, you'll be going.
I'm starting to understand why it's just being here now.
Amen.
Yeah, well, I'm still understanding now why it's just being here.
Okay, we're going to go over to Proverbs 24 and look at verse number 27. It says, prepare thy work outside, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. He wants you to do it on the outside first, and then he wants you to get it in, and then build thy house. Get your stuff ready first. Get your plan together. Get everything you got together, then go build the house. Is what God said. That is a Bible concept for you. Yeah, look, it's like this. You just sometimes he wants you. You know, I want to pick a husband for my wife. You gonna pick some guy unemployed? For my daughter, I mean. You gonna pick some guys unemployed? No, you want to have him. You want him to get it right first on the outside, then come in and build that house. Okay? You want all the plans first. You don't want to draw up have the draftsman drawing it up while you're laying it down. You want to draw it up first, so you have a plan. So you have something going. So you do it without, then you build. Then you go in and you build. It's so much easier with a plan. And just so you know, guess what? God had it too. That's what he called the Old Testament. Built it up. Then Jesus fulfilled it. See, the draft was there. Jesus fulfilled all righteousness, the righteousness of the law. It was there already, the plan, and Christ came. It was done without, then he's here. And he fulfills it and does the job. You see how the picture of Christ is there? It's always there. Okay? So he didn't want any of that banging around. He doesn't want a messed up house. He want all that banging and stuff inside the house. Get it all together and bring it in. He's talking about. Now it says the door for the middle chamber in verse number 8. The door for the middle chamber. Now watch, it says, was in the right side. It was in the right side of the house. And they went up with a winding stair. With winding stairs into the middle chamber and out of the middle into the third, and they were on the right side. You know why they on the right side, right? Because that's what you can't get. Got to get saved on the right side. I got the goats that are on my left. I got the lambs that are on my right. Matthew 25. Hey, guess what? The Lord, he says, where's the right hand of the Lord? Hey, you want some fish? Get on the right side that you catch them. They won't get away. Why? You got the New Testament on your right. That's why I show you those things. I want to, that's easy, good learning. Easy, good learning concepts out of the Bible. Okay? The blood's on the right, man. The blood's on the right. It's what's needed is the blood. Where's that? It's on the right side. Alright? So, he has a winding stairway. Just so you know, left is for judgment, right is for grace. Now you know, God said he had a smoking, when Abraham lays that sacrifice down and he goes into the dead sleep and God moves throughout it, and he says he has a smoking furnace and a burning lamp. Well, the smoking furnace on this side is the Old Testament, and that is the judgment. You're going to get thrown into hell. But the light is over here, moving about. What's at the right side? What? Illumination upon what's there, so that you can see the judgment coming, and that you can see all that, and you got Christ. You need that illumination. To do what? To understand the sacrifice. Even though they're just a birds. They meant something. Those sacrifices, they meant something. And God wanted you to understand those sacrifices. How do you do it? You got to have the light. You got to have the burning lamp. And guess what? The lamp has to be burning. It has to be lit. You can't just walk through. You just can't walk through life with a Bible going like this and not have any illumination. There's a lot of people that have a Bible. They kiss this thing. They put it on shelves and they worship a book that's just the pages, but they never open up and read the words. They are words, and you must read them. The word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my pathway. You have to have the light, and guess what? Thy word, not the book, not the covers and stuff. Thy word.
Amen.
And he says it's a winding staircase. It went up with a winding staircase. You know why that winding staircase as it goes up? That's you. Your life does not go straight up. Your life goes in a circle, man. You go winding around as you go up in your life. Because there's always, you go always around. Not to mention that book you have right in your hands. You don't just read a page and then that's over. I read it once, I'm good enough. I've been fed, I got it. You got to keep going. You got to keep reading it. You'll get to a place in this book that you were in last year. And you know what? You'll look at it and you'll go, God just spoke to me. And he didn't speak to me the way, it did not the way it was last year here. It spoke to me differently. And because it's living. The book is continually living and it goes. That's why I started going book for book and going it like this, because I'm not picking the sermons no more. God is. And you say, well, some people are going to come in. Yeah, God knew that a long time ago. He's got the right message. Amen. He's got the right message for everybody every single week. And guess what? If they don't like it, it's because it was the right message. Amen. Amen. Just I want you to understand something. Tonight's the right message for you.
Amen.
And God knew about it way back then. And he put it together, and it's right here today. We've been going, but I didn't pick this out. I started back in what? Judges chapter 1, and it came to here. And it's this night, and it's this message. And this is the message for you tonight. What has God said to you? Amen. So it says, in verse number 9, it says, so he built the house and finished it. You got to finish that book.
That's right.
You know, God made it for you. Finish it. I can't believe somebody can't. Well, how would you like to get before God and finally you get there and God says, so how was your walk on the earth and everything? And you say, oh, well, you know, Lord, I did take this as Savior. He goes, hey, I put that book in your hands. You finish it? Well, no. What do you mean no? I gave you a book. Did you finish it? No, I didn't finish it. I put it on the shelf. I read John. Well, no, I gave you the whole book, didn't I? Why didn't you finish it? How would you like that for the Lord? And I'll tell you the truth. I think you should, I think everybody should get done at least, well, I think once a year would be fine. I don't see any problem with that. Once a year is not a bad idea. And you know, I think we can do that. At 365 days, about 3 or 5 pages every morning. 5 pages, that's all. 5 pages, and you get through the book. Divide it up. Count your pages, divide it by 365, and you got it. So he says, and finished it here in verse number 9. Finish that book. And covered the house with beams and boards of cedar. And then he built the chambers. And then he built the chambers. After he finished the book, then he built the chambers. And all the house, 5 cubits high. And they rested on the house with the timber of cedar. Now, it says, now look what it says afterwards right here. It says, now, I thought this was very good. I've always asked, you ever think on numbers? This is right here. This is good. This is good. What verse is it? It's the 11th. But it's not 16, is it? It's the 6th chapter. Okay? Just so you know, you didn't read it right. Let's think of it this way. It's not actually that. It's 1 Kings. 1K is 1,000, right?
Yep.
Chapter 6, verse 11. 16:11. And look what it says. And the word of the Lord came to Solomon, saying.
The church. And the word of the Lord came to the church, saying.
Amen. And the word of the Lord came. It's, you know, the Bible, those numbers mean something, and God makes sure it's all set up, and He did it, and nobody can go around and go, oh, they couldn't figure this out to save their lives. Now, verse number 12, concerning this house, which thou art in building. Now, he gives them an if, a conditional thing. If thou wilt walk in my statutes, and execute my judgments, and keep all my commandments to walk in them, then, if you do that, then will I perform my word with thee, which I spake unto David thy father. If you will take this word, if you'll take it on, guess what? God will talk to you personally.
Amen. Yes. Amen. He will. Amen.
That's what he's talking about, right? The picture of that right there, if you will build this, if you will read, if you'll finish this book,
I just want to jump on this.
God will talk with you personally.
Amen.
Okay, there's a whole bunch of people. There's 2 ways that God's going to talk to you. Okay? There is, you're going to get your knowledge from a man, or you're going to get it from God. Okay? What have I always told you? Read your book. Why? Get it from God.
Amen.
Don't wait for me to give it to you. Don't wait for Pete Ruckman to give it to you. Don't wait for Peacock to give it to you. Don't wait for these other brothers to give it to you. Go to the source who can give it, and once he does, you'll keep it.
Amen. 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 Praise God. Preach it.
He turns around and says, like, if you will take this word on, or this work on, if you'll take this on, I want to speak to you personally. This is the thing I wanted to be I thought, man, if I be a pastor, I want to take this work on. One, I want to talk to him. If you'll take this work on, what? What's my job? What's my job? Well, I haven't been chosen to be a pastor. He gonna talk to me. No, he'll talk to you. What did he say to you? Read the Bible, do the work of the Lord, and he'll talk to you.
Amen. Praise God.
And he said, but there's an infinite end. You got to do it. You got to do it. And it's a picture. Watch this. Verse number 13. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will not forsake my people. If you do this and if you do that. Now watch verse 14. Look at the first word. So. Why is that word? That word doesn't even need to be there, but it is. Why? Because God put it there, and He knows something. So look at the first two verses. It's a picture. It's a picture of all that. It's a picture of the walk. If you do all this, guess what it's saying? So Solomon did it, and he finished it. Well, he did that stuff. He's heard that stuff. He read the word, and he got the word in it, and he said, wait a second, if I walk in His statutes,